Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. You get what you pay for with Robert Brown. So, as you can see, fidgeting in my fingers is this little tiny light, and that's what it's called. This is the Tini 2. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I wanted to show you the Tini 2 after quite some time banging around against your keys. So this Tini 2 has this coating on there, on that surface, that after time will chip, scratch, and wear away and start to reveal the under surface there. So I'm not complaining about it. I just wanted to show you what it looks like, honestly, after knocking around on your keys. Now, also, the cool thing is to show you that screen is pretty clear. There's no big dings or anything, or big gouges or scratches. And this has been on my keychain for probably a year and a half or more. I'll have to go look to see when I purchase it, but about a year and a half. I'm going to say. So this is the NITECORE Tini 2, and his little patent number there. And cool thing about this flashlight is it's small, but it's powerful. At 500 lumens, this thing puts out a great deal of light, and it's sitting on your keychain ready to go. Now, see, this is the power button down here, and this is the mode button right there. So I'm going to hit the power button, and you'll see the lock comes up. So it's very easy to lock and unlock, and of course you're going to keep it locked because it's so easy to accidentally hit these buttons in your pocket or your pocketbook or whatever, even hanging off your belt with banging around your keys. Your keys are going to bounce that, hit that, and it's going to turn on. Guaranteed. So this is the locking feature. You just going to go double tap and hold. So it's click and hold. So 1, 2. And then you can see it just unlocked, and now it is on. And that is giving you 8 hours for the mode it's in. Okay, it's 15 lumens, 7 hours and 58 minutes now. And now we can go up through the modes. That's level 1. 65 lumens at 2 hours and 29 minutes. And then we have 200 lumens at 45 minutes. And then we have level 1, which is ultra low, and that lasts for 58 hours, 37 minutes. Level 2, 15, that's where we started, and so on and so forth. So I'll turn it off. And again, I'll show you how to lock it out. 2 taps, and it's hold, and then it locks. 2 taps, and hold, and then it unlocks. And it will turn on in the mode that you were last in. So through our modes, 65 lumens, 200 lumens, 1 lumen, 15 lumens. I do believe I said that this was 500 lumens, and you can clearly see that it goes up to 200 lumens there. But when you depress it, 500 lumens comes up. See? So it only has a short burn of 500 lumens. It does not continuously go at 500 lumens. So, you know, it's a burst mode, and that really helps when you really need it, and you're in a really dark space. So put it on 200 lumens, and then down to 1. So 1 lumen. So 1 lumen, believe it or not, that little light right there, in very dark light, or the absence of light in the dark, that is very bright. Like, to me, 1 lumen is too much. I keep a light at my bedstand because we have barriers in front of doors for dogs and cats and all that stuff, so I constantly am stubbing my toes. I have not this flashlight at my bedstand, but I have I think my favorite thing that sits in my pocket, which is one of the coolest lights on the market. It's a bit bigger, as you can see, but this is also considered a keychain light. It has a clip that you can put on there, or you can put your keychain tab on there, like this one here. So I just have this cord in there because I just let this sit in my cargo pocket in my shorts. This hangs out and I can just tug on it and pull it out. So I'm showing you this because this light here is kind of the defining light for me, because it's very affordable. It's the RovyVon Angelized E5, and I got this for $25 when it was on sale, so it goes on sale. So the reason this sits next to my nightstand at night and in my pocket all day long is because it has a bunch of cool features. Now, I already did a video on this flashlight, but the cool feature I wanted to show you is this whole case is a glow-in-the-dark polycarbonate. So if I turn on this UV light down here, so you can see it's green in there, right? That's actually, the light's not green. It's actually, the case is actually charging up and it's going to be glowing green. And it's so powerful, you'll be able to see it in this light. So I'll just turn this off and you can see it glowing. Well, it's a little hard, but you can see it glowing. You know what? I'll do this. I'll turn off my lights for 1 second so you guys can see. How cool it is to know where your flashlight is. Ready? There it is. Now, see, when you're fumbling around in the dark and you're like, where's the flashlight? Well, you will have no problem locating this one. So let me turn all the lights back on. So the convenience of having a flashlight that you can find in the dark is pretty dang cool. And I think every flashlight that has ever been created needs to have every flashlight out there on the market in the EDC realm needs to be able to be seen in the pitch black. So if it's not in your pocket and you're looking for it, you can find it. And you just saw how bright that was in the dark. That's easy to find. So what do you do about that for, you know, a light like this? Well, you can always take a light like this on the keychain and then you can attach like a Tridium tube. This is a pretty fancy one. It's a titanium housing and it has the tritium in there, which is radioactive, and it glows, and it'll glow for like 25 plus years. So you can attach this to, say, your keychain, and then you can have this sitting in the dark in your pocketbook or whatever, and you're going to be able to see it. I actually have one of these on my keychain, and when I'm covering up in my hand, and I'll show you what that's attached to in a second. But the purpose of this video is to show you what I just got from NITECORE, and you know, they're a really big company and I'm a small potato, and I requested the new EDC 37 to review, and they didn't have any. So that's cool. But they did have the new TINI 3 available for me to review for you guys. And that's okay with me. I'm happy to get it and happy to review it for you. I've already pulled it out of the box and I've played with it, so I'm kind of familiar with the difference between the TINI 3 and the TINI 2. And the reason that I did that is because I really wanted to show you the cool features of it without exploring them and discovering them on camera with you. I think that's kind of a format that I'm going to move away from. I'm going to do like previous R&D, and then I'm going to get the product, and then I'm going to use it a little bit, get familiar with it, and then I'm going to do an unboxing for you all like I'm going to do now. Here's the box. NITECORE TINI 3 in black they sent me, and this is what it says over here. Comes with the key clasp and its USB charging cable, and it is this one here is 600 lumens. Remember, this one is 500 lumens. It bursts up to, so that's what this one will burst up to 600 lumens. This one has a max distance of 90 meters and max intensity, that's candelas, of 2050. Now, maybe you don't know what a candela is. I'll describe what a candela is, like kind of break it down later in the video, because it's kind of interesting and I don't know. It's just a technical way to measure a light, but is it really relevant on something like this? I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Down here we have impact 2 meters. You can drop this from 2 meters at 6 feet and it should be okay. And then IP54. So I did my homework on IP54. And when I found out what IP54 is, which is, it's like, it can be splashed, sprinkling of rain kind of thing, not submerged at all. It's not waterproof at all. It cannot be pushed underwater. It's kind of deceiving, that little thing, but that's just the way it looks across the board. You could have a different rating number down there, and it'll give you the arrow and then the wavy lines. And I'll show you what that looks like on another NITECORE product. And this is the EDC 31. And you can see right here, waterproof. It just says 2 meters. So what 2 meters is actually like IP68, I believe. I'll have to make sure on that, but yeah, the first number is dust and all that, and then the 8 is a number representing the ability to go underwater 6 feet for 30 minutes. So let's look at this. We have a USB-C charging port right here. We have power button down there, and we have our mode button down there, and we have our OLED display. Very, very close to this one. Let's open this baby up. And also you can see up here, it says MCT, multiple color temperatures. So this has UHE LEDs in there, and it has the ability to change the color temperatures from a warm to a cool temperature. Now, if you don't know what that means and you want to figure it out and understand it. The lower numbers are in the like 3000s, and that's going to be like yellows and warm colors. So that's what's going to be coming out of your light. And then as you get up to the higher numbers, like up into the 5000s, it's going to get colder and colder, which means bluer and bluer. You know, like red and orange and then yellow is warm and hot. Then going in white and cool and blue is going to be cool and neutral and white. So that's what that all means, really. It's pretty cool. So here they are. So this didn't come with a little thing attached. I already attached that and put it right back in there. There it is. It comes with this plastic thing right there, and then your instruction manual, and it comes in the 3 colors, which is like a cool bronzy orange, and then it comes in the black, and then a gray. And that's what the owner's manual looks like. And then inside here, it's got the cool chart. It's like the most useful thing in here if you wanted to pause that really quickly. But turbo, remember, it only stays in turbo for a little bit and will step down to 200 lumens. So that's why it doesn't have a runtime. That's that right there, that empty space. So turbo boost 600 lumens, awesome. You can see everything, really cool. 600 lumens is very bright, which I will show you in the dark. 200 lumens, it'll run for 1 hour at 200 lumens. And there you can see 65 lumens, it'll run for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then low, 15 lumens, it'll run for 9 hours. And then the ultra low at 1 lumen, 85 hours. And then below that you can see the candela on all of them. So you can see the max distance from the turbo, which is 90 meters, high 56 meters, then we have mid at 32 meters, and then we have low at 14 meters, and then we have ultra low at 6 meters, and then there are candelas, 2050, and then we have 800 candelas at high, and we have 260 candelas at mid, and we have 55 candelas at low, and we have 9 candelas at ultra low. Now, candelas. Sounds like a candle, right? Yeah, and then candelas sounds like a lot of them. That's pretty much what it is. A lit candle. So it's like how many lit candles in a space create a lumen. I believe it's like 5 candles create 1 lumen. So I will actually make sure of that to be sure. I know I have it in my notes. See how good my memory is. Anyway, let's compare these. So now that I have this out of the box and see that tab on the top, I'm going to pull it off. Alright, it's gone now. Now our face of our OLED screens, I'll give you a good view of them. We have brand spanking new. Oh, it's got smudge on it. Brand spanking new compared to almost, well, it's probably a year and a half or more, and that is also a lot of fingerprints on there. But look, it's pretty tough. So you can expect that out of the new one for sure. It's the same screen. Let's turn this one on and we'll turn this one on. There we go. Start off at 1 lumen and look at the difference. The new one is running at 85 hours. Right? 85 hours. Okay, and then we'll go up to, and it shows you the battery. Do that again. 99% at level 1. And when you do that over here, it shows you the voltage. Okay, so now you can see the 5920. It lasts for 5920 at level 1 over there. And then over here, turn it on. Sorry. Now we went up to 15 lumens and it goes 9 hours. And then over here, we'll go to the next 15 lumens, 7 hours, 51 minutes. And then we'll go to 65 lumens, 2 hours, 45 minutes for the new one. And then we go to 200 lumens, and we got 44 minutes. We got 200 lumens, we got 1 hour, and we got down to 1 again. And the same thing over here, down to 1 again. So they both cycle up to 200 lumens, but if you do the hold, there you go, 500 turbo mode right there, and then it'll instantly step down. And then we'll do it over here. I'm just going to turn this off, and this one on here, and we're just going to go right up to turbo, 600, and it says 20 minutes. So it should stay like that for 20 minutes on turbo. This one here, turn this one on, and go up to turbo, and that'll go for 15 minutes in turbo. Pretty cool. Power off, power off. So the difference between them in the front there is you can clearly see that one is wider and the lens is bigger and the lights look bigger and everything. So this has, you can hear that it has this kind of broken up pattern. You can see it looks like a bug's eye. And that's what I immediately thought of when a bug's eye. It's just got more surfaces so it can see more, and that's what this is in the reverse. It's like got more surfaces so it can push the light out in multiple different directions from all those angles in there. This does not have that. As you can clearly see, the Tini 2 is kind of polished plastic cover over the lights. This is it's called a TIR, TIR lens, and the Tini 2 has 2 P8s in there. So there's 2 P8 LEDs inside here, and the Tini 3 has, they're called NITELAB MTC UHE LEDs, and there's 8 core LEDs, and there's 4 per side. You gotta look close in there, but I do believe you can't really see in there. Is that correct? I don't know. I can't really see in there. But, okay, so we're going to go with that. My notes say that. So, on this one, MTC, multiple color temperatures. I'm going to turn it back on. And then, what we're going to do is, see, we have it on. I'm going to hit both buttons. Both buttons. It's hard to hit both buttons because they're small. Neutral. See, neutral just came up. We got neutral, which is like a white light. And then we hit both buttons again. And then it has warm. So that's more yellow light, right? I was just telling you about that. And we do it again. And then we have cool. So cool is going to be on the higher number side of the scale. So cool, that's what cool looks like, right? And it's going to be easier to see this at night and in the dark, and I will show you what these all look like in the dark. But let me just switch to neutral. So you can see neutral on my hand. It's kind of just gives you the pigment in my hand. It's like, it doesn't really change the color too much. And then neutral being neutral. And then we'll do it again. And we're going to go down to warm, right? Warm. So warm, you can see it's kind of like a yellowy light in my hand. There you go. So you can use this in all the power levels. You can use the warm light through first lumen, 1 lumen, right? And then you can go through the power levels in warm. It's very yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to go and switch it to cool, and then we'll go through the power levels in cool. See, it's like it's almost a blinding light where you can't even see the details of my hand in cool. So when we go up to the next one, neutral, and we go cycle through, you can see a little bit more of the details, but when it's bright, it's just so bright you can't see. It's just burning the detail right out of there. But that right there, for it will last you 9 hours at level 2, you know, that's a decent light. It looks good. And we'll turn it off. So let's look at the size dimensions overall. One is clearly a little bit wider this way. I will give the dimensions of the two. The dimensions will come across the screen and they will sit here and here. Tiny 1, tiny 2, and tiny 3. And so I'll give you all the stats on them. All the measurements and everything will come across as I'm talking. So when we're looking at them, we can both see that the buttons are pretty much localized in the same spot, recessed in the same way. This one just has kind of just this contour shape to it, where this is just a little more blocky with the edges knocked down. And then, of course, and then width-wise, they look like they're exactly the same width. The tiny 3, maybe a little bit different, maybe a little wider. I don't think so. The numbers will show as they're coming across. You can check them out. What else is different on them? We have the same real-time OLED, which we just looked like. We just looked at the different screens in front. And, you know, that's my theory. It's like, you know, a bug's eye, and it'll actually, all the surfaces will send the light out a little more smoothly across when you're trying to do, like, you know, searching for something. You're not so spotty, burning, and losing the detail like I just showed you on my hand. So there they are, the Tiny 2. After some time in the real world on a keychain, getting bumped around, and you can probably expect this, but see, the difference is this has like these contoured areas, so maybe the contact points of it bumping around will be more localized on the corners. I don't know. Well, this one is going to go on my keychain, and I will let you see that in 1.5 years. How about that? I promise. This one here is going to go to my wife on her keychain now. So lucky her. As a reviewer, this one I bought a long time ago, and this one you can still buy on Amazon, and it's available, and it's the same price as this one, believe it or not. They're both 40 bucks, $39.99. But why would you get the old one when you can get the new one? The new one's features are a bit better, and the longevity of the battery is better. They both No, actually, the battery on the Tini 2 is a bit smaller. The Tini 2, let's just say Tini 2 on 200 lumens is going to last you 45 minutes, and that's what counts, how long it's going to last. We get 15 extra minutes. 15 extra minutes out of the Tini 3 at a full charge than the Tini 2 at the 200 lumens. So they'll both go up to 200 lumens, and that's kind of what the sweet spot is, because when the turbo mode steps down, it'll step down to 200 lumens on both of them. Okay, we've got darkness. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of the difference between the 500 lumens out of the Tini 2, which is this, 500 lumens out of that Tini 2, and then I'm going to give you the 600 lumens out of the Tini 3. There we go. So it's very hard to see, but I'll put the Tini 2 on and see if the Tini 3 can overpower it, which it does. So you saw that come on and overpower a little bit. So I'm going to point the lights not up right where the camera is, but so it's going to be kind of pointed in a different direction, and I'm going to start off with the Tini 2 looking down at the ground so you can see the glow in the background. 500 lumens. 500 lumens. Down there you can see the glow coming up there to my shelf area, and then that's the Tini 2, and then the Tini 3, 600 lumens. So 600 lumens, you can see the glow is kind of clumping up there a little bit more. Again, Tini 2, Tini 2, Tini 2, Tini 3. And now I'm going to point them directly up at the ceiling, because up at the ceiling gives you this kind of good kind of glow of the whole room. So here's the Tini 2, 500 lumens, and the Tini 3, 600 lumens. There you go. Very cool lights. And if you like little lights, and this is the USB cord it comes with. Most of all of the NITECORE lights come with this exact same thing, with this Velcro thing around there, and you got USB-C right there, and you got your typical USB over there, and they work great, and I have a whole bunch of them. So what I was going to show you before, remember I showed you this Keychain Tridium thing? So Tridium, you can see, and now I'm going to turn the lights off again. And the Tridium I have connected to my EDC 23. Here goes off the lights. And that's a stupid way to say it. We're going to cut the lights, and you're going to see if you can see that Tridium. Now you're stumbling around in the dark and you're looking for your flashlight. You're looking around. I see it right there. That little thing. It's bright. No problem. So I would be able to see that sitting on my nightstand, and then grab my EDC 23 and turn it on. Right? There you go. So I'm going to turn the lights back on, and I just showed you how you get what you pay for, solve that problem of not being able to see your flashlight in the dark. So if you like that idea, these Tridium tubes, the good ones, they're usually housed in titanium or aluminum. I would go with titanium because it's just going to last forever, and it's very, very light. Aluminum is very lightweight too. Some of these things are capsules where they come empty, and then you get your own tubes of Tridium and you put them in there. This one was a pricey one. I got it on eBay, I believe, and it was like 40 bucks, or yeah, like 40 bucks. But they're on Amazon, and they're all range all different prices. They come empty, and you can put your own tritium in there, or they come filled, and they range from like 28 to like 40 bucks. And you can put that on any one of your flashlights any way you like. I just have mine on with like this, and I don't use the standard thing that comes with these NITECORE lights. It's a little too bulky, and I don't ever clip it on anything. But I do put it in my pocket, and having this dangling either inside or outside of my pocket is fine with me. On the cool E5, we saw that. How are you going to find that at night? The whole case glows. That was so cool, right? So back to these. They work very, very well, and you know they're obviously meant to go on your keychain because they are a little bit hard to handle, and they're very, very small, and you can lose them very easily. So I have done a video on this also. This is the BRINITE A02 Apollo, and also a specific keychain light. It looks more like a USB flash drive than anything else. And look, there's your USB, and there's your power. And this one just simply has 3 modes. Or 4 modes, sorry. It has mid, high, low, and flash. So I lied. Anyway, check out the video on this. This is a very affordable light. I think it's only like 20 bucks. So if you want something that's even smaller on your keychain than that, size reference, everybody, you can see the Apollo size reference difference. And then, because we have one sitting right here, this is also a keychain specific light by OLIGHT. This is the i3E EOS, and this is a simple one where you just twist it and it comes on. That's it. There's no power levels or anything. There is a battery in there, and that's all. It's a AAA battery. So for the folks that just want to power there, don't want a rechargeable, don't want to plug it in, they just want a bunch of batteries, there you go. Size comparison with the EOS compared to these guys over here, the brand new, to me, TINI 3, not new to the market, been around a little bit, but it was nice enough to get one from NITECORE to show you guys. Like I said, bought that one with my own money, and I've had it for a long time and have loved it. So I'm going to have to confuse the hell out of you right now and throw something else into the mix, but I'm going to do an unboxing and first look at that too in comparison following this video. And I'm going to show you right now quick is the Wuben G5. And this light features all kinds of cool, interesting things that's completely different from all other lights on the market. We have a lockout back here. We have your USB cover right there, so it locks out. And then you have on, and then you have your charge. Plus it works on this button right here. You turn it on with a dial here, so you can turn the light up and down just by that. You don't, there's no double click, 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 click. You can just turn the dial and it'll go up and down. So I'm going to show you guys that. It's new to me, it's not new to the market, but I wanted to do comparison and show you guys how it works compared to, like, you know, the RovyVon E5. But the thing with the RovyVon E5 is I also have the E8 and I have the E7. And I'm showing you these because look how close they are in size. So there you go, guys. Like and subscribe if you like this video. The liking helps me a lot. Sharing it helps me a lot. It just shows me that that you like it and you're willing to share it with other people that are maybe looking for a new light, or they're looking for someone like me that is patient and shows kind of the details of the product without, being like, oh, you must buy this, it's the greatest. If it wasn't the greatest, I wouldn't say anything about it. I just believe in NITECORE products. I have a bunch of them, and they work really, really well, and they're very competitive in the market. And if you like the way they work aesthetically and the output that they provide, then I think it's a worthy spend. And I do provide links for all these things, and because I am an affiliate with NITECORE, if you do buy one using my link, it helps me out greatly and shows me that I'm doing a good job. That's really it. It just helps me out because I'm doing this mainly for me. So subscribe. Help me out. I need to hit 10,000. I want to hit 10,000 within this year. And I'm at like 6,000. So I need 4,000 more subscribers. All right. Take care, everybody. Hope you liked the video.